If you are even thinking about a water birth, this video could change everything. It's one of my most favorite videos that I've ever made because I've made it with you guys. I have spent the last several months gaining powerful insights from midwives, doulas, and hundreds of moms who have done a water birth. I will share everything that you need to know, the do's, the don'ts, and exactly how to feel calm, confident, and fully prepared, and to reduce pain. A huge thank you to all of you who have shared photos, videos, and stories about your beautiful water births. I also wanted to say a huge thank you to midwife Jen, who is a home birth expert with over 15 years experience and a special certification from Water Birth International. She met with me and shared all of her water birth wisdom for this video. At the end, I also have a special free gift to help you feel even more prepared, my water birth prep pack, which I have linked below. All right, let's dive in. Water birth doesn't just look peaceful and beautiful, it's also supported by research. Studies have shown that mothers have higher rates of intact perineum, fewer severe tears, lower risk of postpartum hemorrhage, and less respiratory distress for babies. They also have shorter labors. One study showed 25% of water birth moms had an intact perineum compared to only 8% on land. Another showed that labor was 72 minutes shorter on average. I will link to the full studies in the description below if you want to dive deeper. Many moms describe an immediate sense of calm as they get into the water. The buoyancy helps take pressure off, relieving pain and tension. Whenever I post water birth content, many people are concerned about the babies breathing underwater. How can a baby be born underwater without breathing in water? The answer is fascinating and all due to your baby's reflexes. So let's start with the dive reflex, or the mammalian dive reflex. It is a built-in safety mechanism that kicks in whenever your baby is born into water. It's been observed across many species, including humans. It activates when the face is submerged in fluid, especially water. In response, breathing is inhibited or stopped. The heart rate slows, the blood flow is redirected toward vital organs like the brain and heart. For a newborn, this reflex keeps them from gasping underwater before they're lifted into the air. The dive reflex is triggered by the trigeminal nerve. The trigeminal nerve is a major cranial nerve that originates in the pons of the brainstem and runs through the face, especially around the eyes, nose, and mouth. When warm water touches those areas, the trigeminal nerve sends a powerful message to the brainstem saying, hold the breath. And what happens next is amazing. The baby's glottis, the opening to the lungs, stays closed. They hold their breath naturally, they're still attached to the placenta, they are still receiving oxygen through the umbilical cord, and as long as they have not taken their first breath, the dive reflex keeps the lungs safely closed off. Other protective reflexes that work together during birth: the laryngeal chemoreflex. If any water gets close to the baby's larynx, this reflex closes the vocal cords tightly, like a natural seal to prevent water from entering the lungs. The apnea reflex: your baby will not take their first breath until their skin feels air and until there's a sudden drop in temperature, like the change from warm water to cool air. In the tub, those triggers are missing, and so the baby stays calm and protected. 3, the gasp reflex suppression. And contrary to what you might imagine, babies don't just automatically gasp underwater. The gasp reflex is delayed until they're gently brought to the surface and feel the air, and that's when their first breath happens. So why is water birth safe when done correctly with a professional? When water is kept between 97 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the baby is born gently into a womb-like environment. No sudden temperature shifts, no stimulation, just calm physiologic transition. Meanwhile, the umbilical cord is still pulsing, providing the baby oxygen while baby is slowly and gently brought to the surface. This is where they will take their first breath on their own. Warm water helps reduce adrenaline and increases oxytocin, supporting a more relaxed and efficient labor. It gives mom buoyancy, which can relieve pressure, ease pain, and encourage better movement and positioning throughout the labor. Research shows that in healthy, low-risk pregnancies, water birth has outcomes that are just as safe or sometimes even better than land births when managed by trained providers. If you're considering a water birth, it can be a beautiful, safe option for many. Water birth isn't for everyone. It's really for low risk, uncomplicated pregnancy where a trained professional can be there to support you. Also consider if you are someone that finds water comforting and safe. Here are a few times when water birth may not be recommended. If you have a high-risk pregnancy like preeclampsia, uncontrolled gestational diabetes, or if baby's head is not down, if there's meconium staining in the water, or if you develop fever or any signs of infection during labor. You may also need to get out of the tub if baby's heart rate shows signs of distress, or if pushing is taking too long, or the water becomes contaminated. Next, I'm going to share exactly what to expect in a water birth and the best stories and advice from many experienced moms who had a water birth. Click here for this next section in this water birth series. If you're planning a water birth, you are not going to want to miss this. Also, you can grab your water birth prep pack in the description box below.